Hey guys, today we're going to talk about the SWC2024 scroll and what I'll be putting on the list and what you can be putting on the list as well. But before that, I must say, this scroll is very, very bad. If you look at the rate of the legend or attribute scroll, the chance for the LD5 is 0.4%. And the chance for the LD5 for this scroll is also 0.4% because that is all we care about. And this scroll, you cannot even choose the 4-star monster that you want, which is still kind of worse than the 7 years special scroll, which you could choose the 4-star monster because we all know skill up 4-star monster is actually harder than skill up all the 5-star that you have because you can just use Devilmon for that, but you don't want to use Devilmon for 4-star monster. And if you do your TOA heart every single month, which you should, you know that the all attribute scroll is whatever. Maybe your friend get an LD5 from it, but that's the only time for that one single guy. Most of us get shit from this scroll. And that's not all. This event right here is also kind of shit. You do all this, all right? You do all this just for one scroll right here that is going to give you a 4-star monster. Worse, a 4-star monster you can fuse or a lapis, which could happen as well. And then they had the audacity to allow dupe cards in the counters catching L's in this event so many times. Alright, though things below here can be okay, I guess. I think I got one good decent rune out of this whole thing, but come on. This one was supposed to be one of the bigger events for the anniversary, and overall, it's kind of bad because legendary elemental scroll is also kind of whatever. You know, we expect a little bit more because the order event from the 10th anniversary has been pretty good. I think this is the first shitty one, I must say. So for the last two, they're raising the expectation a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher because this one was not too sure about this one. And they have the audacity to put an LD5 banner in the last one. So everyone, their mom and their dad, their uncle and their dog are talking about how the last event is going to be a free choose your LD5 event, which is not going to happen. You know that. We all know that. We're just huffing that good old copium thinking that we're going to get a free LD5, but we are not going to get that. But anyway, enough yapping. Let's choose the list that we're going to stare at, but not going to get. First, I'm going to talk about my list, okay? And then we're going to talk about your list. Everyone's list is going to be very different anyway. What I do is I check the unowned monster, and I don't have a lot of unowned monster. So for the fire list, I'm going to pick the collab monster because I don't really like this unit. It is kind of cool, but maybe they're going to buff it in 2 days from the day of this video because balance patch coming very soon. I might regret it. But I'm choosing the collab monster. This guy, arena speed lead. This guy, kinda cool. I don't have a single 5-star Yuji yet from the collab. For the water department, I am going to go for the water Dokkaebi Lord. I really like this unit. Fast, good CC, and I don't have him out of all the Dokkaebi Lord. I think he's very cool. And for the order water unit, this guy is low-key very good, but I'm still going for the collab limited skin unit. Lastly, for the wind monster, I actually had the wind Dokkaebi Lord before, but I fed him away in the event and go for the water twin angel. I don't plan to get him back because I feel like he got nerfed pretty hard, and maybe he still get nerfed again because he's still very popular in the defense meta. He's one of the better defense units, so I don't want to get a unit that I can't use actively every day. So I'm going for the 120 base speed unit, very cool monster. And I think I'm going for the Nobara because I kind of like how she works. She's kind of like a Wind Juno kind of situation where you pick against a multiple debuff team, and I think she might get buffed in the future as well. So that is my elemental unit, comprised of unit that I don't have, not very essential. I don't think anyone should pick this list whatsoever because none of these units are important for anything at all. Now, let's take a look at the LD5. Oh, this one is like, I get to pick my LD5, woohoo! But you don't, okay? For the LD5, oh my god, it is so hard to choose what to put on. But I think first, you either want to choose the one you want the most, like for the longest time, you want to get, let's say, the light camera because he's cool, you should do that. Or you choose the one that synergizes with your LD5. Let's say you have a ragdoll, then you want to pick something that works well with a ragdoll. For example, what the fuck works well with the ragdoll? Like a Viva Shell, for example. But for me personally, because I own Lucifer, that would comes with a different kind of mindset. So for the light unit, I'm going for the light dragon because I can potentially make this thing hit so hard and give me a 16-second Giants team, which is very, very cool to have. And he's also very cool to use in arena offense, which means I can use him every single day. And that is very important. I don't want to pick an LD5 that I can use once in a while. I want to pick an LD5 that I can use every single day. That's more fun. Next up, I want a Yonhong because my first LD5 is a Wooyoung, and for the last 8 years, I have been complaining about how my Yonhong is black, and I want to get her to fulfill the whole family. And she's very cool. She's a swift unit. I can pick her early in RTA. I think I have the rune for her to make her fast and deal good damage. So I really want this unit, and it will enable a very aggressive playstyle, which is very, very fun. And lastly, I want to pick something fun, not too meta. I think this is a very underrated LD5. She makes arena offense with Dot Team incredible. And she's very cute. This is one of the best design monsters in this game. I wonder why, I really wonder why. But this thing is incredible for Dot Team. And of course, I can pick Laura, I can pick Veronica, I can pick Tian Lang. But then, you don't need to see more of that, right? So, I'm picking her because she is so freaking cool for Dot Team. Look up her name and use her collab name. You'll see so many videos showing her and how she's amazing for Dot Team. The dark element is really, really hard because I can instantly lock in Han and Trinity. Trinity? Yes. Very fun for Cleave Team, and maybe one day they change her to attack unit and then she has more attack power, then she does more damage. But for Cleave Team with Lucifer, definitely not a try-hard monster, but something fun instead. And Han is also an amazing pair with Gianna with Dark Robo, enable another different playstyle, very fun unit to use. So I think if I have to choose a Dark Speed Lead, I think I'm gonna go with Han. The second unit is definitely going to be Nephthys because she is just one of the best unit in this entire game. This skill can set up for so many different combo. It allows me to create new teams, and I think that is what I really want, is something to enable me to create team, not something that I need to build a team around, because this girl is so amazing at setting up for all the unit, and that is what I really want. And lastly, I think another amazing unit I can pair with Lucifer for Cleave is going to be this. Another amazing setup unit, especially those with strong skill 1, and I think she can be very, very fun to play with. And I definitely want her on the team for Cleave Team. I even saw her being used with Chandra Velaju, which means there's potential for even Bruiser Calm to work with her, even though the attack buff doesn't really matter too much. Maybe one day she get buffed, and she can also be used on siege defense with Odin and Chandra, and it's still one of the stronger defense, so I can be a better member for my guild. That is also a side plus for this unit. And that is my list. What is your list? Let me know in the comment section down below. But now let's talk about your list and what you should be putting on here. And remember, it is going to be very different from early game to mid game to end game, depending on what you really want to play, because there are some RTA only unit, there are some siege only unit, that kind of stuff. So decide depending on what you really want, okay? Don't pick a unit because it's meta, pick a unit because you really want to play with it. I think if your early game, Rika, Nora is going to be incredible because they enable TOA, they help you to clear the different PvE. They can also be amazing for early game PvP because their main source of damage is going to be continuous damage, which means with your shitty rune, you're going to do as much damage as me because the damage is down depending on the enemy max HP and not your own stat. So that's going to be incredible. But if you're more guild focused, I think Velaju or Helena is going to be incredible. Velaju can pair with so many different teams as a generic immunity, defense break, healer, damage dealer kind of unit. Meanwhile, Helena can pair with your Leo that you choose from the previous event. Helena combined with Leo and the Light Paladin Jean is going to be incredible siege offense. That will give you a win all the time against most of the speedy defenses. But if you're an endgame RTA player, I think Vanessa Velaju or Vanessa Juno or Vanessa Fire Monkey can all be absolutely incredible, but you definitely want to look out for 33 speed lead. And Vanessa being one of the most popular unit in RTA right now, depending on what meta no matter what style you want to play, I think Vanessa can still go in there and be a very, very good support unit for your entire team. But the other choice can depend on what kind of rune you have. Do you have a rune and artifact for Juno to make her fast, tanky, deal good damage with good artifact? Or you want to look for a villager. Maybe you need a swift unit. Maybe Segment might be the one for you. Or if you're looking for Fire Cassandra for the last big trap nemesis build, they can be really good. If you already have Vanessa, maybe the Fire Speed Lead Tomoe is waiting for you as well. She can be incredible. And if you don't want a trap build unit, you want something you can use all the time, Masha is still one of the most fire damage dealer in the game. And personally, I use Tomoe Masha a lot. And Juno is very hard to build, so I think these gonna be the choice for you. I think for water, if you're early game, Varad is gonna be the top choice for controlling in PvE. However, I think Bover is gonna be absolutely amazing for early game PvP as well. You can pair Bover with Lulu and another unit to tank the enemy damage. And this guy is gonna do so much damage while healing the team because his damage is based on the stack that he has and the HP of the enemy target. So Bover is a unit that can do as much damage with your runes or my rune. It doesn't matter. It only matters how you use this guy. So Bover, Skogo, and Lulu can be an amazing team from early to mid to late game. So he's one of the best guild PvP unit that exists in the game for pretty much everyone out there. And Varad is absolutely incredible for early game PvE stuff. But if you're already mid-game-ish, you want to focus a bit more on PvP, I think Camilla and Alaya is going to be insane for you. Camilla is pretty much one of the, or if not, the strongest water tank in the game. Very OP in arena defense and siege offense and maybe even siege defense if you build her with more damage. Meanwhile, Alaya is one of the best water healer in the game to pair with your Wind Panda or pretty much any defense scaling damage dealer in the game. She alone is also one of the best water tank while providing insane support for your team, no matter what kind of defense scaling damage that you want to build with her. So I think these two units are super crazy for early to late game PvP and Guild Siege. And then if you're moving on to the more endgame PvP, we have the Water Pudding Princess. She's insane for buffing different one-shot team, but this will require a bit more runes. She needs to be fast, your damage has to be fast and do good damage. But this is one of the most broken support buffer in the game. Comes with healing and oblivion as well, and this insane attack lead for your arena. Meanwhile, Hey Gang is one of the most broken RTA unit in the game, allowing you to play turn 1 or turn 2, providing strip. Super annoying for a lot of different meta team out there. So I think for endgame PvP, Hey Gang and Water Pudding Princess is incredible. But if you don't care about RTA and you want a sure win in Siege, then this bad boy is gonna be the choice for you because you can pair him with Camilla or Arena and maybe another healer that is water or whatever element, I don't care. Just pair with something that can't die like Arena, the 3-star Epicon Priest. You might have heard me say Arena, but it's Arena. Then he can just keep coming back and do massive damage on the enemy. It is one of the most amazing units against Chandra and Byung-chon in the Siege defense. Other than that, there are so many more great options like Chandra is great in both Siege and RTA, but maybe a bit harder to use because he's very generic and people can take him away from you, but Chandra is definitely amazing as well. But I'm not sure if he's going to get nerfed in 2 days or not. So can't really wholeheartedly recommend the Chandra, but still one of the best units in the game as well for PvP purposes. In the win department, there's so many units. Early game, you want to get Tashawn because one of the most broken PvE for giants and for farming in general. And then we have one of the most unique units in the game, the Wind Dragon Knight, which we have already discussed in the free 5-star event that was way better than this event. And we also have the Wind Polar Queen with the most unique strip in the game that cannot be resisted. So these three already cover so many different needs you have in Summoners or that you can just pick one of these three and you are good to go. So I think Wind Panda and Sonia can cover PvP from early to end game. Okay, from early to end game, you will see these two same units dominate in Siege and maybe in RTA as well, depending on where your rank is. But these two units are just 2 free win in Siege offense. With this, having low rune requirement, just have high speed, high attack power, max crit, and you're good to go. Compared to other damage dealer that require high crit damage as well. As long as she's faster than the enemy target, and she has attack buff, she'll one-shot many things. This guy paired with a healer, and you have a solid team. And it doesn't matter what element you are fighting, he can be fighting fire, and he doesn't give two shit. So I think Winpen and Sonya are just crazy good for the win department. But for the more niche stuff, I think Oliver, Sierra also very popular. Oliver is purely for RTA, meanwhile Sierra is for RTA and Siege as well. Both are very amazing PvP speed leader you can pick depending on what you really like. Do you want to reset the enemy or you want to miss bomb? I think in the past, things like Ganny and Changpeng are like must-have, but nowadays kind of fell off a little bit. So unless you really like them, I wouldn't recommend getting these two units anymore. But they used to be like must-have. You need to have these two units because they're so broken. But not that much anymore. I'm more of a Layla kind of guy, but then this unit is my personal bias, okay? Just my personal bias. She is so freaking good. But don't pick her because of me, okay? Pick something that's better, like obviously better. What about the LD5 selection? This one is so hard. I think the most broken light unit will have to be the Light Ocarga because she does pretty much everything while being extremely fast as well. Would they nerf her in 2 days? I'm not too sure. But this skill, into her own skill 1 cycling, back into these, are just absolutely top tier. In Siege, in TOA, in RTA, she can be used anywhere except for maybe rune farming. Next up might be this guy, because after I got him, I realized how broken he is. Before I got him, I thought everyone was overhyping this unit. Okay, I'm gonna be real. I thought he was like, it's just a Lucian team. Like, how good can he be? Oh my god, after I got him, I'm using him daily in rune farming. I'm using him daily in Arena Inter-Server, Arena Rush. He is so freaking good. I'm using him in every Siege, in every World Guild battle if I want to, because my Lucian can hit for like 12k without attack buff. So Leo, Lucy, Lucian can still be good enough for some defenses. And I can still use him in RTA. He is so overused for me. This guy is incredible. The only weakness he has is his awakening into resisting, which is kind of useless. If he get crit rate or speed awakening, he'd be like his own tier. He is so good. I thought people were overhyping him, but no. For early game player, if you have this guy, just put him in your team and he can be his own damage. He can be the main damage dealer of the team while buffing everyone else to do some massive ass damage as well. So good. And for the last slot, I think you can pick whatever the hell you want, because at the end of the day, you need to like the unit to use it to enjoy it. It's a game, right? You can pick whatever the hell you want, because I think I can make a case for every single one that I see right here to be pretty good in that particular situation. Like if I have Nasha, right? So I know Nasha is pretty strong, but require very good rune. I know Tianlang is insane, but from people who have Tianlang, they realize that, wow, this skill is not that consistent. And he's kind of boring to use because he's just kind of there, doesn't do anything that much. Or if you like Automel, because he looks cool, but he doesn't do much in the current meta, your runes are not that good, but because he looks cool, you can pick him. Maybe Shazam is probably going to be the worst one that I can see on my screen right now, but I think everyone else, if you like it, you can use it. In one way or another, you can definitely use it, okay? Except for maybe her and Shazam. I think this is very underrated for Arena. If you only care about Arena, this thing on Arena defense is one of the most annoying piece of shit ever. So I have it. I'm going to put it there because I use it in every Arena Rush and it's kind of good. For the Dark LD5, oh boy, I think Nephthys has to be there. Speed lead, defense spec setup, very simple to build, to use in so much content. I think Nephthys is kind of goated in a Summoners or universe that you have to put Nephthys there. If there's going to be an LD5 list, it has to be there, okay? Damn, I took a good look at this and I don't really think anything here is essential for anything. Like, you must have this unit. But I think we can all agree that Gianna is very fun to play, very broken, and I think I have to put Gianna here out of respect because of the recent buff to her skill 3. She's now just an incredible unit you can use in your Arena offense, Siege offense and defense, and you can use it in RTA. Out of pure usability, I think Gianna deserves to be in the top list for sure. Other than that, I think the third unit, once again, really depends on what you really want. If you're a bruiser kind of guy, you don't want to think too much, maybe Ragdoll is going to be the one for you. That is not an insult because it is what it is. Ragdoll is absolutely crazy. And if you want Ragdoll, you can put Seimei in here to make it even more broken, right? But if you're not that kind, you want to go first, you have insane Swift rune, you might go for Wunsa, you might go for Wunyoung, and that is totally fine as well. If you watch a lot of Obabo, you're gonna put Han in here. That is also good. If you watch a lot of SeanB, you put Jara in here because he makes Jara look like a god. You can also do that. That is totally fine as well. If you're a fan of Fong Trao, you can put Dark Ongyoki in here. Also a very good option. There's so many good use for all the unit out here. But maybe the things you don't want to put in here, maybe Nyx, maybe they don't buff him anymore. Because I don't think I'm a fan of Nyx. I think Nyx is one of my most hated LD5 because he's just kind of weird. Like, you don't know when it's going to work, when he decides to work or not. Like, I don't really know. He's just kind of an RNG unit right there. Maybe good for arena defense. That's about it. This is kind of bad. I feel like the fire unit is better than her in so many ways. So maybe you don't put her in there. This is kind of bad until they buff him. I don't know, but Snake Daddy is not going to be in the list as well. But so many of these other units are really good in their own way. And you can pick whatever the hell you want. Even Leona. Okay, maybe don't pick Leona. But recently I've been having a lot of fun with Leona though. So maybe Leona's not that bad. But other than that, pick whatever you want. I'm going to put Ragdoll in here because Ragdoll is so popular and insane win rate in RTA. Pick what you like to play with, okay? Don't have to follow my list. Don't have to follow any one list. Pick what you really enjoy playing with because at the end of the day, you play your account, not me. And that's for the video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.